video is all about putting together a basic first aid kit for use in the UK hills and mountains. It's aimed at the basic to intermediate hiker that carries out trips into the UK moors and fells areas for a single day trip or maybe a few days. There are many and varied first aid kits available at various prices, all containing lots of unnecessary items in them. So hopefully this video will give you an indicator of the items I believe are the minimum to include in your first aid kit based on my experience, and save you carrying pointless items that you may never use. This video is not a training course, and it's always recommended that you attend a first aid training course suitable for your needs and the environment you will be walking in. I'm not a medical professional, but I have been medic trained during my time in the British Army, and I've attended many first aid courses ranging from basic first aid through first aid at work onto specialist outdoor first aid training in the mountains and aquatic environments as my time as a British canoeing coach. During this experience, I've picked up a number of tips and tricks which I hope to lay out in the following video for your purposes. So, moving on. The key points of any first aid kit are: accidents are inevitable. It's not a case of if you need to use your first aid kit, but when you need to use it and how it can be best optimised. First aid kits are primarily personal. Unless you're leading others into the outdoors, where you are expected to carry more advanced items and be skilled in the use of said items, your first aid kit should be personal to you. In the event of an accident with another person in your group, you should use their items from their first aid kit first, wherever possible, but don't sacrifice their safety for speed and finding their first aid kit. Also, it's advised to be aware of any specific requirements they may have. Adjust your first aid kit to your environment. As mentioned, this video is aimed at UK use, but it's not a country mile away to adjust it to areas outside of the UK with lots of scary, bitey, stingy critters about. Adjust your first aid kit to your skill set. Quite simply, only carry what you know how to use. There's no point carrying things such as sharps or tourniquets if you don't know how to use them. Going down that route, there'd be dragons and you could get into trouble should the worst happen due to your incompetence or inability to use the equipment correctly. This is all about first aid kits, and as such it's not going into detail about survival kits. Yes, a first aid kit is part of a survival kit, but before you venture into any moorland or fell wilderness, you should have suitable survival equipment for the environment you'll be in. Yes, a first aid kit makes up part of your survival equipment, but we aren't Americans or axe-wielding beardy people, so we don't need big-ass bug-out bags. Here endeth the preaching, so let's get on with it. Item 1. 1 times large Ziploc bag. There are all sorts of bags or containers you could use to store your first aid kit in, but I find a large Ziploc bag is best as it can be used as a piece of first aid equipment itself. This can be as simple as cheap and cheerful bag, but I find the more heavy duty ones, such as the ancillary bag found in MOD ration packs, is the best for the task. As well as being a clean and waterproof bag to keep your first aid kit together, it can also be used as an item of first aid equipment for covering wounds, and if you fill it with water, it makes a great cold compress for sprains, etc. Filled with sand, they can also be used in other more advanced ways, but that's for another video. Item 2. 1 pair of surgical gloves. Gloves are great for keeping the bugs and germs and other nasties out of wounds when you're treating yourself or others, but they also stop you getting infected too. Filled with water and a small hole in the tip of one of the fingers, they can also be used as a great irrigation tool. Item 3. 6 assorted plasters, or band-aids for our American friends. I would suggest you carry waterproof ones, but fabric ones will suffice. Having 6, 2 or 3 separate sizes, means that you have a spare of each one that you may use. Also ensure they are individually wrapped so that they remain sterile. Item 4. 2 5cm by 5cm dressing pads. Low adherent dressings are the best option, and 5x5 is a good size as they can be used individually or combined to form a larger dressing. They can be used for blister protection in the event blisters have been decapped, and hydrocolloid plasters would be of no use in that situation. Fix the dressing in place using zinc oxide tape which I will come on to later in this video. Item 5. 2 times cleansing wipes. These days alcohol free are the recommended option, but I tend to keep one alcohol wipe as it can be used in conjunction with a tick remover. Item 6. 3 times blister plasters or hydrocolloid plasters. 1 times large plaster for use on a heel, and a couple of smaller ones for toes and the fingers I find is the best selection. I've included a link in the description to a great YouTuber who gives some excellent advice on blister treatment. Item 7. 8 times Ibuprofen 200mg tablets. Most first aid kits do not contain medicines, but as said earlier, this is your personal first aid kit, so you can administer medications to yourself. Always follow the recommended dosage instructions though. Along with the following medications, it may be prudent to include spares of any personal prescribed medications you may be using at the time, along with written instructions for administering them, so that in the event you are incapacitated, then members of your group can assist you. Carrying 8 Ibuprofen gives you 24 hours worth of treatment and are good for swollen injuries or as a painkiller. Item 8. 8 times Paracetamol 500mg tablets. Again, 8 tablets gives you up to 24 hours worth of treatment and can be used in conjunction with Ibuprofen if needed. Paracetamol are great for headaches and fever treatment. Item 9. 2 times 1 a day Hayfever tablets. Not only can you use these antihistamine tablets for treatment of hay fever, but they can also be used to treat very bad irritation occurring from bites and stings. Item 10. 1 times Scalpel blade, sterile. I carry the sterile blades so that I don't have to start sterilising one in the hills. Scalpel blades are great for lancing blisters and also for use in your survival situation for cutting plants and string, etc. Item 11. 1 times Triangular Bandage. This is the only purpose designed bandage that you need in your first aid kit. A triangular bandage is one of the most versatile bandages to carry, as it can be used for support, strapping, shaping and padding. One day I will do a video on triangular bandage, but until then I'm sure there are loads already out there on YouTube. Item 12. 1 times Tampon. WTF, I can hear you screaming from here. Apart from the obvious use for a tampon, they're also great for managing arterial bleeding and general wound dressing. They can also be used as part of a DIY water filter in a survival situation, but that's for another video. I would suggest the type with the cardboard applicator such as this one shown. Others are fine, but the ones with the cardboard applicator are cleaner, less prone to moisture when in your first aid kit, and the cardboard applicator can be used as kindling for fire starting. Item 13. 1 times Antiseptic Cream. I prefer to carry Germaline as it is also a mild anaesthetic, so helps to numb any pain around small bites, stings and grazes. Item 14. 1 times roll of Zinc Oxide tape. Also general sports tape will do. Here is your master of all trades. Zinc tape can be used to hold dressings in place, act as a support bandage, a general bandage, wound closures, joint support and many more tasks. Other than a triangular bandage, there is no need to carry any other bandages, as this little roll of goodness does it all. Item 15. 3 times SPF 25 Suncream. Go on, we all know we don't tend to carry a bottle of Suncream, and we should do, especially if we're trying to keep pack weight down. Well, with these little bags of sunshine, there's little impact on weight but maximum benefit if we're caught out in glaring sunshine, especially if we are sat around waiting for help to arrive or the forecast turned out completely different to what we expected, which does happen quite regular in the UK. Item 16. Tweezers. A simple but effective tool for removing splinters and thorns, etc. Whilst they can be used for tick removal also, I would not recommend it and much prefer the use of a dedicated tick removal tool. Which leads me nicely on to Item 17. Tick removal tool. Well worth a few pounds to properly handle the removal of ticks without letting the little spewing Lyme disease back into your delicate little bodies. Item 18. 1 times Lip Balm. As well as treating your lips, lip balm can be used on any dry, sore and cracked skin to help ease the soreness and irritation. It is also great for easing the irritation of nappy rash in your groin area when sweating on a long day's hike. Item 19. 2x safety pins. Whilst I've rarely used safety pins in a first aid scenario, other than for tidying up a triangular bandage used as a sling, I'm a bit of a traditionalist and always carry a couple for many other uses. There you have it. A simple but effective, lightweight, compact and versatile first aid kit. Remember, get out there and do a course. You won't regret it, and you'll feel far more confident in your ability out in the hills and mountains. I hope you found this useful. Please feel free to comment, drop a like and subscribe. Until next time though.